Hey everybody, it's Carlos from Immortals Inc. Podcast. Today I have Mikey on the keyboard again.
As always.
And I have Travis again. Travis Miller of Grumpy Wizard. It's not grumpywizard.com, is it?
Grumpywizard.home.blog.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Couple
Terrible,
two dots.
Terrible
Ooh, man.
URL.
We were just talking about
The OGL.
OGL. We're going to talk a little about OGL since it's relevant.
And we said, I was like, what is the OGL? You know, it's very relevant right now.
Travis is going to give us a quick, basic,
We need help.
OGL, right? Open Game License.
Open Game License.
Open
Yes,
Gaming
Game
License.
License was a license created by Wizards of the Coast in 2000 when they released the third edition of Dungeons & Dragons. It was created with the intention of, in a way, protecting Dungeons & Dragons from ever being disappearing, basically.
I can remember when they did that because I had the other store. I had another store at the time, and I remember they did that. I was like, "Ooh, that's a big deal." That's kind of like anybody. I could write it. You could write it. Anybody could write an adventure they wanted to write and publish it using the rules, and that helped. And I did see where it helped to grow things because a bunch of people did a lot of weird stuff or different stuff, and they didn't have to worry about getting hired by Wizards. They could make it out of pure love, you know. Yep. I love this game. I wrote this adventure. If people like it, they'll pay for it. It's kind of like a free market kind of deal.
Right. And the biggest benefit for Wizards of the Coast is what sort of business people call the network effect, which is effectively when there's more people doing something, you get a sort of flywheel effect where more people want to do the thing that these other people are already doing. Something becomes more popular, and then it sort of, because it's popular, it becomes more popular, kind of thing. So, and the other good thing about it was there are just certain products that Wizards of the Coast isn't going to make. Something that doesn't fit their ideal demographic, and you can only make so many books a year. You can only take so much risk. And
you can only pay somebody for their ideas so long and so much, you know, like if you open it up and anybody can do anything. As a business, if I was a business and I did that, it's a good idea. It helped it grow because then everybody started writing. I would like look around and say, oh, that guy's a really good writer. Let's go talk to him.
Right.
You know, as a business.
Yeah. It creates a kind of farm team
to find the best you can, you know, like the best will rise, you know?
Yep. And it does have its dangers. There was a period of time in the third edition where there was a big collapse of because there was a ton of different sort of supplements out there that were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
And there was a sort of and game masters and DMs got sort of overwhelmed by new supplements and new things, and players that wanted to bring this weird character class or magic item into the game.
Definitely
that would totally break things.
It became more work because you had to say, no, you can't have this. You had to like set, like, this is what you can have.
Correct.
Or you had to play that particular game line, which means you had to go buy that line on top of it. Yeah. But that was the downfall of it, you know, but that's like anything, you know, like like collecting comic books, you need all 6 covers, you know, or, you know, whatever it is, you know, it becomes a problem. Or I don't even know if I have it here, but there was that book of the one that really, the book of erotic fantasy.
Oh yes, yeah. Actually, I think it was an old.
Yeah, actually, it's right
item.
there. Yeah, I have it right
classic,
there. Yeah,
classic.
It's totally inappropriate for D&D. And under open gaming license, it was there.
Hey, spice up your session.
I know, you look it up on. I don't even think you can sell it on eBay, can you?
I'm not sure.
It's probably at Adult Mart somewhere.
It's. I know it's not cheap if you go to buy it. I'll tell you that. But you got a lot of stuff that probably wasn't the best for the company. Also, I see, but it was, because then people talked about it.
You know, I don't know that it was bad necessarily, because I don't think, at least I've never seen where a third-party product was directly tied to the Dungeons and Dragons brand and that it caused any problem, because quite honestly, the game is bigger than it has ever been, ever.
Yes. And no, I don't remember it at the time either. Like, they put this product out and all of a sudden D&D got blamed for it. No, I don't remember that at all. I don't remember seeing that or doing that or having that issue.
To me, the OGL has been nothing but a net benefit for Dungeons and Dragons, the hobby in general. The only place I would say that maybe it's damaged the hobby is because of that network effect. D&D is the gigantic, is the bulk of people playing games, and so that other games that maybe would have done better in terms of audience sort of got squashed because most people would just want to play D&D instead of RuneQuest or some other game.
You're right. It's like, and I'm not ragging on any other game because I've played other games that I like and are good, but
right.
Sometimes it's just maybe just D&D is the best marketed. It's the best, easiest to use. It's the easiest to get into, and you don't have to find a group of you can go to a game store. You can go here and play D&D. You can just sit down and eventually somebody will play D&D with you.
Yep.
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Wednesdays and Sundays, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it doesn't hurt. But I think I'm even trying to take it away in a late. I hate to even get into this because it's going to be more than 10 minutes, and I think John and I are really going to go into it. But I don't.
That's why I said it's going to be a series.
Yeah, I guess. But
this is just what it is.
To me, it's like, and then Wizards. And this is me as a business owner, and I'm going to play devil's advocate all the time. So I'd like to reiterate, I don't support either side. I'm just playing devil's advocate. There's a lot of people get upset about it. And I think we were talking earlier that you could probably come in on a Wednesday or a Sunday when we play D&D Adventure League, by the way, that you could that you could walk in and say, hey, what is the OGL? And nobody 80% of them would be like, I don't know. I'm just playing here to play a game, man. But then they might. I don't know. They might. Or what was the name you said?
Who's Mike Merles? Who is Jeremy? Or who's Chris Perkins? Or who is any designer or developer? They wouldn't know that. There's a sort of plugged in part of the hobby, and then there's most everybody else.
Yeah, there's the one like I pay attention to it because I own the business, so I have to pay attention. But even then, it doesn't. It's not ruling my existence day to day. I could see who it affects and why they become upset, but I think most of it, I think it's a smaller percentage of people that it affects. And as far as Wizards, and like Hasbro owns Wizards, who owned, and this is another goofy thing, once again, devil's advocate, who owned Wizards when they made that contract?
Wizards owned Wizards when they made that.
So Wizards no longer owns Wizards. Hasbro owns Wizards.
Right.
It's a contract, they can try to, in my opinion, it's business. I think they just try to do a business move and it probably didn't go well for them. No. So now they have to back off. So
well, I think the thing about it is that they did not realize that the plugged in part of the hobby is different than other kinds of businesses where you have it's very much a community-based business, and you have all these people that are sort of interconnected and intertwined and entangled with one another. And so when you create this thing that's effectively trying to separate them, going, you can either come with us and do what we're doing with 1D&D, or you can go away. Is basically what they're doing.
Yeah, it's tightly knit. The community is tightly knit. I think that's why it didn't really get caught up, and I hate to even go down these roads, but get caught up in all the nonsense. You see some, I don't want to say nonsense, but all the changes and the ways we do things. I think we're more accepting. I mean, I don't care. I don't care who comes here. I just want you to play games. I want you to have fun. I don't care what you think or thought processes are. As long as you can get along with everybody else, that's all I'm asking.
Yep.
And I think as a community, they all do. So I think when they try to like you said, that's a good example, try to separate it, say, no, you can either come with us, we're going to do this, or you can go away. I think all the rest of the community said, backed the people they were trying to like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they're like, they got backed by their customers and paying customers.
Right.
So the community is always stronger.
Yeah, you always outnumber, you're always outnumbered by.
But what I think,
and they have to, like, as a business, you have to, work with the community. You can't just tell them this is the way it's going to be. Like, we're only going to sell genuine Gendu as a card game here, not Magic.
We're going to sell Kaijudo only.
Yeah, you have to go with what the market is.
well, I
or
think
what the community wants.
what Wizards has going on ties in with what I see as being their longer term, their medium range planning, which their medium range planning, and I hate to say it, saying this on a podcast with friendly local neighborhood gaming shop, is I think they're trying to cut you out of the business, out of their business.
I'm also, we're not dumb. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I see what they do, and it's like, okay, like, see, but then again, with Magic, everybody's like, oh my God, Magic Arena, they're going to do it online. You're not going to have any sales. I'm like, I think I will, because you're going to play at home online.
Right.
You're going to pay $3.95 for a digital pack you'll never be able to touch, or you can come here and pay $3.95, well, whatever the price is. I can't remember but pay whatever the price is to have a physical collectible card.
Tangibility, people.
Yeah. So go ahead, get all those customers that play online, because eventually they'll want to come here. Now, how this works, I don't know. I don't know what group they're trying to attract, because most people that play these games want the books or physical items or the miniatures. They don't want to play it entirely online, because
I think what they're doing is that if you look at the rest of their things that they have going on, and I've been paying a little bit of attention to this over the last year and a half or so. They have a movie coming out that's pretty much targeted at 13-year-olds. They have a TV show that's going to be on Paramount Plus that's going to be targeted at 12, 13-year-olds. And then they have a bunch of different merch and other stuff coming out that's targeted at 12 and 13-year-old kids. And they've identified that only 20% of the current market pays for most of the 80% of the money. So
I don't disagree with them.
What they want is to bring in those 13-year-olds who don't play D&D right now. And they're going to go, look at this cool VTT thing. And I can pay $1 and get a skin for my animal companion. And then, I click this button and Matt Mercer reads off the box text from this adventure pack that I just bought and inserted into the VTT, and I can create my own 3D avatar for my character, and get all these cool things to add on to my character class sheet when I pay the $17.75 a month for if I get the next tier on my, so there's the people that they're trying to get to play the game are not the people. I feel like they don't care if they lose 10% or 20% of the people that right now, because those people pay maybe $50 a year or $60 a year for a book. These other kids are going to pay $100 or $150 a year, and there's going to be more of them.
I don't disagree with you, but what I'm hearing is new customers playing D&D. Because eventually that 13-year-old's going to be 18 to 20 to 25.
Right.
And he's going to have a job or, money or something, and he's going to want to go on and be in the world,
right.
Because eventually you grow out of that. I mean, or it's not even if you grow out of it, you learn to come out. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Let me go to this game store. Hey, there's an actual book that I can hold in my hand to have this. There's an actual miniature I can have for this. Right. I can get this painted the way I want it and put it on the table, and I could talk to you as a person. Right. That's what I'm hearing. So it's the same thing with Magic. So I get it. I get it. Like even like GW, Games Workshop. Mm-hmm. They went from miniature tabletop into video games. Yeah. I love their video games. Man, it's such a great history. But every time I play one, I'm like, I should paint an army. I'm like, I ain't got time to paint an army. But that's me. But the other guy playing goes, I'm going to go paint an army. Or like how many customers come in and say, hey, you know what? I played this game and I thought these Blood Angels were cool. I'm going to try painting one. Take all day. It's
the start of a very
wish they would re-release
empty wallet.
Space Hulk.
I think it's on the list.
Is it?
Yeah. So And
It's not like $150 or something insane.
well, yeah,
It's gonna be for the low price of $499.99. Okay.
Well, yeah, the old school game license is basically old school game. Jeez, I'm sorry, OGL, Open Game License. I think they won't get rid of it. My opinion, people. I don't think they won't get rid of it. I think it'll be modified. I think it'll end up in court, and I think people will fight it. And I think it'll always be there. It'd be to their benefit for it to be there. I think they were just trying to control it a little more as a business, which, devil's advocate again, which as a business, you want to try and make the most money you can. I mean, that's the point of business. None of this would be here, if you weren't making a buck at it. I'm saying I'm not, we're not rich billionaires who just collect things for fun,
So there's a point where you go, there is enough, right? Where you go, okay, if I try to make money in a certain way where it alienates and annoys my customers, where's like that's the fine line where they need. I think with the way they're approaching this OGL, they've jumped over that line to where like we're gonna.
I think they made a mistake. Yeah, I think they made a bad, or did they? Because everybody's talking about it now.
Right.
So any press is good press. So did they make a bad decision? I think maybe but did they? You know what I'm saying? Did they?
We don't. And that's really the thing. An awful lot of this is speculation.
Yeah, it's like fourth edition. They either people always talk about fourth edition D&D. I go either they really messed up or they were really smart. They were really smart because they got all them kids that play video games to check out this game because it runs just like a video game, but it was terrible as a role playing. Then they said, okay, that was bad. Let's go back to the way it was. And now all those kids that played fourth go, oh, this is better in fifth. And now they're adults and they're teaching their kids. And it's business, man. It's like me. I'm not like some cutthroat corporate, shark or anything. I'm just a guy. This isn't my full-time job. I do this on the side, and it's these guys do it full-time. They're the ones who drive this business, and I got to take care of my employees, and the employees got to take care of the customers. And then, it is a funny little, how do I charge? Do I charge this much? Do I do this much? You do the wrong thing and boom, they go crazy. And this is a small scale. I imagine a worldwide event where they're like, hey, we're going to charge for that. Oh my God. It's the apocalypse, So it's like, but we'll see. Hey guys, if you like this content, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you want to support us even further, we have a Patreon. It's $1 a month. Check us out on not every. I'm still working on any kind of social media. Just check it out. And then Travis Miller, go to
link below.
But what's it again?
It is grumpywizard.blog.home.
We're going to get you a cool .com address.
Yeah.
All right, guys.